everyone, my name is Natasha Barboza-Bennett, owner and lead designer of Larger Than Life Events and Design. I've also created an educational platform, Behind the Veil Academy, that teaches behind the scenes for business and floral design, event and floral design for your business. Today we are recording my standard classic large elevated arrangement, and that's what we're going to design today. We have blue hydrangeas. These are a natural blue. Our greeneries that we're using is Salal, S-A-L-A-L, or lemon leaf. We are using Italian ruscus, and the stem count, we'll do a stem count really quick. So these come in bunches of 25 stems. The Italian ruscus comes in bunches of 10 stems. Our floral recipe for today, we're using 20 of everything. So 20 blue hydrangeas, 20 pink Floyds, 20 tulips, 20 moody blues, 20 cool waters, and 20 pink spray roses, 20 tulips. So we're gonna get started. Typically when I design, I'm creating the shape first. So I'll design to get the shape first, and then I'll build upon that. So this is how large we're going to be, pretty much. We'll start here. So I'll place one in the center, one here, one on the left, one on the right. It's pretty much like a big puzzle. And don't cut your hand. So what you do on the left or right is the same process that you'll do on the top to bottom. So I've already created the shape this way. So now I need to create the shape this way. And if you guys could pass me. So now we're creating the shape this way, left to right. Once you've been designing for a while, your speed gets faster and faster. You'll be able to design several arrangements. The easiest way to do is to have your flowers already sorted for you, either by stem count or by variety or both. It just makes your life easy. So here we have the shape, and I'm always constantly turning. A lot of people invest in, it's called a lazy Susan, right? You have those at your house, and you can go, it just rotates it. So with anything in life, you always want to get a fresh perspective, so you're always going to be constantly spinning, turning, just so that your shape is consistent throughout. Oh, Sharon, you have to read questions if there are any questions. No? Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, Sharon. Siobhan, say
Hi,
hi.
Siobhan. Let's get rid of this. So there is no right or wrong. Today we're using greenery because this is the preference that I have for today. There are times where you need to design, some clients may want a more modern design with no greenery, so you would just strip all of the leaves off of the flowers and you wouldn't use any greenery. The myth is that when you use arrangements or design arrangements with greenery that it's less expensive, and that's not true. It's actually more expensive or more labor intensive because now we're actually using more flowers, or the greenery is a filler, and we're actually cutting more. It's more labor intensive. So it's not less expensive when you have arrangements with greenery. That's a current myth. So right now we're just filling in the spaces with the greenery. Again, this is Salal or lemon leaf. say it again.
Another one, so did you first wire the floral form?
Water or wire?
Wire.
No, it's not wired at all. We use, there's a plastic plate. Under here it's called a Lumi dish, L-O-M-E-Y. They come in different sizes. We use Oasis, which is the most popular brand name of wet foam or dry foam, so that the flowers will always have a source of water and food. And that Oasis or foam is soaked in water with food, and then we tape it to the Lumi dish. So we're just filling in right now. The greenery is not a primary. There are times when greenery is the focal point of an arrangement, and then there are times when greenery is used as an accent. So some people like to use, they'll green first, meaning they'll put all their greens first into the Oasis or the wet foam, and then add in their flowers. And this is a combination. I want the greenery to be an accent. I still want to play a major part, but I want it to be an accent. So I'm color blocking today. Sometimes I will do different florals here in different locations, different colors. But today I've decided that these designs I want to color block. So I'm going to put roses or flowers of the same colors all together in groupings. And that's called color blocking. This is a huge stem count. So if we're using 20 Pink Floyds, that's this rose. It's so fabulous. And we want to make sure that we're sticking the flowers into the Oasis so that it's always going to have a water source. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so we're color blocking. I'm going to go over here on this side with the Moody Blues. And this is just a transition color because it has pink and the purple in it. Any other questions?
No.
And we're just going in between. I'm short. So I'm putting them in groupings. With nature or anything, you want to do groupings of 3 historically. So you would have 3, 3, 3 instead of like dot, dot, dot. It just makes your arrangements look more lush. And because we're color blocking, these Pink Floyds are massive. And then so you're constantly spinning just to make sure that you're keeping the shape, that your arrangement is keeping the shape.
The Donna was that a Moody Blue?
Yes, these are Moody Blues. So,
I love the color scheme.
thank you. So these were flowers from our Behind the Veil Brooklyn workshop. Of course, that workshop is going to be rescheduled to August 7th and 8th and we're cutting, if you guys can look really, if you can zoom in or come closer. So when we cut our rose stems or even our hydrangeas, when we're inserting, we're cutting it like on an angle so that it's like a spear, like you're piercing. So you're able to pierce through the Oasis and it's going to get the sufficient amount of water. So you're always going to cut on an angle.
Ty asked when you soak with oasis, what type of food are you add into the water?
So we're using regular flour food. There's so many different brands. When in doubt, honestly, and if you don't have any, it's a secret, you can use sugar. You can use sugar in your water. Today we use fresh water. Most of the time I don't use flour food. We received our flowers on Thursday for, in theory, an event that's today, right? We're designing today.
Okay, somebody's
Say it again. Talk louder. Oh. So I didn't use any flour food, just fresh water, clean buckets, cool water, and you're all set. But there are preservatives if you have and these are arrangements that will be inside. It's cool in here. There are preservatives or floral preservatives that you can spray your arrangement with. Crowning Glory, you guys have heard that. There are other preservatives that will, and there's so many different types. Crowning Glory leaves your arrangement like a waxy clear, and it freezes the flower in place, and it's also a preservative. It will protect the flowers if they're outside, if your arrangement had to be outside. But because this is going to be inside, you don't need that. It's not necessary.
Charlotte said, what about the hot pink roses?
The brand name, the name of it? Who said that?
Charlotte. She just asked, what about the hot pink roses? I guess.
Ask, what about it?
What about it?
Like what?
Charlotte, what about the hot pink roses? You want to know?
Why haven't we used them? What? Oh, it's called a Pink Floyd.
Yes.
So now we're getting to.
Do you recommend even the petals of the roses for arrangements like that?
So when you process your flowers, I wish we had kept some with the guard petals. Which one?
The guard petals are nice.
No, on the flower. Because these are all processed already.
Yes.
Okay, so some people will, when you receive your flowers, and come close, when you receive your flowers, they're gonna have these older petals on the outer side. Those are called guard petals, like they're protecting the precious part of the rose. So we would just typically pull that off, and it's just a simple pullback like that. And this is what you do when you're processing your flowers. When you receive your flowers from the wholesale, from any floral distributor that you purchase your flowers from, at the supermarket, they're going to have petals that are damaged. The outer petals are not, if you look at it, you'll say, oh, that's old, you can't use it. That's not necessarily true. You just need to take off or strip away the guard petals. And what I'm doing right now is called reflexing, and that's peeling back. It's a design style that some people are leaning towards right now. Reflexing your roses, the rose petals.
Somebody saying thanks for sharing.
Okay, so thank you. So people, some designers will reflex their roses. This is another moody blue. So we're pretty much done with the moody blues.
What about the green
well-
leaves? I noticed some there and some leaf left on.
What do you mean?
Flowers.
Oh, it depends on how we process. So these had thorns. The cool waters had thorns. So we processed them, we stripped them off. Bring me one of the rose strippers, guys.
So
So this one's still, so these are all tools that we use. We use cutters, we have rose strippers, and so when you receive your flowers, do we process all? Oh, give me, okay, so you'll see that this has some thorns here and still some leaves left. So we would just pinch it and you would pull it down and it strips off the roses, the thorns, and the excess leaves. Bring me one of those Moody Blues. It really, because in our design we're using greenery, I left, it was a way that we processed. I just left some of the stems, the rose stems on, because that's gonna fill in the holes for me. It allows me to use less greenery. Let's put that back. I don't wanna mess up my recipe. So we're still color blocking. Now we're on to the cool waters. And the cool waters, you see guys that these have different, this is a smaller centimeter, a smaller size head of a rose. The Pink Floyds are ginormous, and you can see the difference. The larger centimeter, so the Pink Floyds are a 70 centimeter stem, and these are 40 centimeters. So you can see the difference. Obviously, if you're using flowers that have a larger head, it takes up more real estate or more capital right in your arrangement. So you would use less if you're using a bigger flower. But once you use a smaller flower, then obviously you would need to make adjustments in your flower count, because you would need to use more. So the flowers that you pick, and then also the size that you order from your distributor, your floral wholesaler, are very, very important. Cool waters. Okay. Yeah, so the cool waters are like super small. So we would reflex this. This takes time. If you're designing on event day, you don't have time to reflex, or you just have more labor, or you don't reflex at all. So this still has the guard petal on it, and that's what it will come. So anyone else would say, oh man, I can't use it, and toss it away. But this is a perfectly good rose. Now we just pluck that guard petal off, do a little bit of fluffing. Some people blow. There's different ways to get roses to open. Some people will blow right in the center. You can do a spiral between your hands, rub gently, and then it would open a little bit more. So we're still adding, we're still color blocking, we're still rotating. If you had the Lazy Susan would rotate, for you. You wouldn't have to manually spin. And what I like to do on event day, if we're designing this at the venue, because these can get pretty large, if we're designing these at the venue, we'll create like an assembly line. So one person would add in the hydrangeas, the next person would add in the roses, the next person would add in the greenery, so that we pass it down. If you look, there's another guard petal, so I'm going to strip that off. So we're color blocking. So you see we're going pink to purple.
Is it possible to see how the oasis was set up before flowers were added? Thank you. Pamela Watts.
Give me, I believe we have one arrangement over there. post pictures. So I'm just taking the guard petals off again. This Charles.
Caroline's a great idea, an assembly line.
Right, so we do the assembly line. And these recipes, the recipe is on my website. On the website, you can switch out, and many people have done this. They purchase the recipes just to get the number of stems.
Maisha wants to know what kind of gloves are they?
These are black, they're cool, right? I don't honestly normally design with gloves, but just, today with the virus and being around people and different things, I always touch my face. The flowers have come. These are roses, are flowers that come from overseas, so just taking additional precautions. But these are cool. They're black, what is it, nitrate gloves? No specific brand, they just look cool. The crazy thing is though, when I freelanced for Preston and when I worked with him, all of his designers wear gloves and they're black. And I just could never do it. But you're right, all of them, they all wear black gloves and they look so cool. I think now that I know how the flowers feel in my hand, that I'm okay with using gloves and designing with gloves. But before, I could never design with gloves. So that's interesting, now that we asked about that. So you gotta find your own rhythm, your own, there's no secret to this. There's no magic, anything. Charles and I, sometimes we disagree a lot because he'll get stuck in a certain process or way to do something. But I always tell him that, 4 plus 4 equals 8, 6 plus 2 equals 8, 5 plus 3 equals 8. So there's so many different ways to do different things. You find what works best for you and master it and kill it. So this is what works best for me. All right, so we're color blocking. Guys, this is a high stem count. So we're using, so now I'm gonna add in here, I don't like the way this looks, this dot, dot, dot. So here, even in this Moody Blue, there's one rose petal that's like bad in there. You just pluck it out. It's not wrong, it's not dead. Thank you. All right.
What is color blocking?
Color blocking is grouping all the colors together that are similar. Yeah. Okay, so.
Can you review the recipe?
Yes. So we're at 2 bunches of salal, which we haven't even started yet. 2 bunches of salal or lemon leaf, 2 bunches of Italian ruscus. The other type or popular type of ruscus is called Israeli ruscus. But roses, 20 pink Floyds, 20 Moody Blues, 20 Cool Waters. We're gonna use 20, we didn't use the spray roses. Sure, count out 20 spray roses for me. 20 spray roses. So when you ask or want to know the cost of something, or someone says, I want an elevated arrangement, or I want this, and it's all white, and it just has white roses, that's something simple, but you're paying for the designer's time. We receive our flowers days before. You're paying for, I'm sorry?
ACA?
Yes. So ACA is my floral wholesaler. that I use, and I'm using 2 pieces. So this really ruscus, I'm doing double duty. I'm cutting it in half because the stems are really long, and I'm getting 2 uses out of it.
What do you find is the best way to keep hydrangeas from drooping while at the venue before an event?
Processing the right way, fresh water, clean buckets. That's the easiest way. Keep it out of the sun, direct sunlight. Keep it out of the heat. That really is the best way. Some people use like food, quick hydration methods, like it's called quick dip or alum, which allows the hydrangea to be instantly hydrated. That really is the issue, is just how you're processing. You want to make sure that it's in fresh water at all times and not in the direct sun, and you should be fine. Okay. Here, these is 20 right here in this bucket. Okay. So the reason you use recipes, right, are for consistency, for quality. It's important to follow a recipe. That helps you even order your flowers.
I asked how long.
How long what?
How long what, Kai? I think it's how long you keep them in the water. Hydrangea.
Oh, I get my flowers all at the same time. So I got these on Thursday. Some people receive their roses and hydrangeas on different days. I don't. Again, you do what works best for you. If logistically you cannot process your flowers on Tuesday, some people, they have a cooler. They have a cooler that they can design and make the arrangements well ahead of time. The reason you would receive your flowers in advance is so that they can drink as much food and water as possible, and then they'll open up, they'll bloom.
How long do they need to stay in the water to hydrate?
It could be 24 hours, it could be 8 hours. Some people don't even process their florals. It again depends on logistics and what you have to do. So let's see. So we're still color blocking in theory and putting all of the pinks, pretty much half of it.
I think you got it.
Okay, so these are spray roses. Spray roses are smaller head roses. These are flowers that they use as a filler flower. You can cut the multiple heads off and make boutonnieres or corsages with them. It's a wonderful filler flower because you see it has multiple heads. So recipe, 20 spray roses, 20 cool waters, 20 pink Floyds, 20 moody blues, 20 tulips, which we haven't gotten to, 2 bunches of salal, 2 bunches of Italian ruscus. We're going to use, did I say tulips already? 20 cool waters, 20 moody blues, 20 tulips. So now we're adding in the greenery. How long have you been online? So now I'm just filling in with the greenery. And I still have here.
Do you provide recipes for purchase?
Yes, those are available on the website. So historically, all of our workshops are on in person. It doesn't make sense to me to purchase a recipe and you don't know how long to cut or where to cut or placement or those types of things. So that's why we're creating this platform for you, taking this opportunity so that you can see when I say 20 hydrangeas, 20 roses, 20 this, 20 that, where it works out to be. This is going to...
Eric Jones said, thank you, Tosh, for sharing and helping in the industry when we are having hard time.
No problem, Eric. We're all in this together. Together. So this looks great, actually. And then I can't wait until we add orchids. So I'm turning now, because you can see the greens start filling in. So I'm turning now to adding greens in the places that don't have. Greens can be a filler, or a lot of the trend now is to do a lot of arrangements again with all greenery and white, or all greenery and another color. Here we're using greenery as an accent versus a primary.
Martine says she's been to your workshop before. Nice work.
Martine? Yeah, she came to Atlanta. Hey, Martine.
Simone said, yes, this is giving my day. Sunlight and sunshine.
Aww.
For summer wedding.
Thank you. Yes, this is a great color combination for a summer wedding. Again, the recipe that I'm using is just for size, actually, to show you something of this size, the stem count, what's included with that. You can switch out these flowers, of course, making adjustments, switch out the different flower types. Thank you. Switch out the different flower types. We still have.
I can't wait to take a class with her.
My gosh. Massive. All right, so pink. So we're going pinks into purples. Looking good. And some people don't close the top of their arrangements. I feel like your primary flowers, your money flowers, roses, peonies, or any type should be within the body of your arrangement. So I wouldn't typically put a rose on top, but did I not use 20? So this is where we are, guys. This is a wonderful start. I'm not going to finish this on screen. Do you have any other questions? Does anyone have anything that they want to share? How they're feeling right now about the industry? Do you have any?
Any schedule for Atlanta yet?
Atlanta workshop is, we're done.
It's floral placement
We're
taught in classes.
Yes, this is everything that's taught in the workshops. It's hands-on though, like you do it yourself, not me. And I'm pretty much in a supervisory capacity, but again, this is something that you're taught in the workshops, the hands-on. This looks really, really good. I had to have more than 20 things for it, but they're so big.
Michelle Cole said when I go that large, they don't feel stable.
Stable with what? Your vase?
Apart. I've taken the class, I do the page proper.
It has to probably do with your vase size. So bring that stand over here, guys. Michelle. So you want to make sure that the platform, the stand that you're using is the right size for your arrangement. This,
Continue from one to the Detroit class has been rescheduled, yes.
yes, it has. I'm about to say Darby.
Are you going to have classes at your new venue?
God. Ooh. So let's look how big this is. Your platform or your vase or base that you're using has to be in proportion to your arrangement size. Michelle, if you were saying that you were having issues or you felt that it wasn't secure, it's because either your arrangement is too large for the stand, or the stand is too, it's not in proportion, in balance. So this is 36 or 38 inches tall, and you can see, I want to step around. You can see that this is in direct proportion to the size of the arrangement. So we still need to fill in. We'll fill in, we have orchids, we still have all of our tulips that we haven't added, and we have the rest of this as part of the recipe. So we'll come back tomorrow even, add into the live with photos of the completed product. So, but this is a great start. This is a standard larger than life elevated arrangement. So when you receive a price $400, that doesn't include the stand. If you receive a price $400, $500, you realize that it has 80, 100 roses, hydrangeas, greenery. It has a proper foundation. It can be moved. It's quality flowers, and yeah, this is what we're talking about here.
How do you determine flowers you use for your clients, because not all of them know what they want?
What was the question again, Ms. Sharon?
How do you determine what kind of flowers do you use for your clients?
So part of my process is a client will send inspiration photos, and we can together put together a design proposal. They don't specifically know flower type. That's my job as the professional. So I will, based on their colors, the season, what's available. Tulips are out of season. You can't get tulips after this. You can't get tulips. You can't get tulips after this. So we're going into April. So tulip season is over until April, May, June, July, August or September. Do you know what I mean? So pricing is based on seasonality of flowers, what's available. You know, when the wedding is. If it's in September or now, then they can't get certain flowers and different things. So that's what your proposal is based on.
How wide is that arrangement?
How wide is it? It has to be at least 2 feet, if not larger, right? Guys, it's easily 24, a little bit more than 24 inches wide. Okay, so tulips, if we're still color blocking, you can add tulips as a hanger. Yeah, it's right here. You can add tulips as an accent. Leave the stem a little bit long. Again, we kept the greenery on some as a filler, right? So you're just making sure that it's inserted into the oasis. So I'm short.
Where can you purchase a floral stand? How are you handling cancellation?
This stand is from a vendor out of Atlanta. This is not a commercial, like it's not at a regular store. It's from a vendor. I have a vendor list that's also available, but it's not like it's a product that you would purchase wholesale. So it's not regular. It's not available to the regular public.
When would you receive those rescheduled date for Detroit?
Oh, Detroit was rescheduled to August 23rd. But everyone that registered will receive that information.
How will you charge a client for this?
$650, $700. So we're not done even. We'll add hanging crystals with floating candles, crystal globes attached to this, and we're also going to add some more flowers. So we're going to do a floral spiral down. This is a statement piece. This is almost $1,000 actually once we add the other floral piece. This as it is approximately $600, $650. But once we add the additional flowers down, you'll be around $1,000. This is 100% a statement piece. Once we add in the orchids, if you guys can bring me one orchid, please. The orchids are $16 a stem, okay? So again, once you add in the orchids, this is a statement piece. This is not something you will have on every single table unless your budget determines that. And that's what you want, right? Because if that's what you want, then you pay for it, what you want. We would probably do these on the reserve tables, on the head table, as an entrance piece, maybe with place cards or something like that. At the altar, at the church, or right on pedestals, on columns, and then to repurpose, right, so it has multiple functions, we would move it to the reception space, sometimes putting it on the left and right of the bride and groom if they have a sweetheart table or a head table like that. But this is, but then we have had some clients that want elevated arrangements on every table, okay? So when you're budgeting, that's just something that you'll, your designer will work out with you. They'll try to price within budget, but you have to be flexible also. So, yes. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna finish these. We have so many other things to design today in the showroom. And any other questions? Oh, our floral sponsor again is ACA Flowers for Behind the Veil Academy. I'm so glad that you guys signed on and were
So when you put something between the stand and the floral,
to keep it stable, this is not going anywhere. Literally, it took 2 people to move this. The reason that it's shaking is because it's on this. You can put like a glue or a floral putty that will connect the Lumi dish to the stand, the plastic tray to the stand, but you don't have to. This isn't going anywhere. It's gonna take 2 adult people to move that.
do you charge to report?
All right, guys, so I want to thank you again for tuning in and watching us live design this. If you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate. All right, guys, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you so much. I'm going to turn this around so that we can finish designing today. And bye, guys.